Okay, now let's go to the next topic in JavaScript, that is the conditional statement. Okay, statement. So very often when you write code, you want to perform different actions for different decisions, right? You can use conditional statements in your code to do this. In JavaScript, we have the following conditional statements. These are the first one is the use of if, the second one is else, third one is the else if, and the fourth one is the switch. Okay, now let's see what are these conditional statements one by one and what are their syntax, and we'll even see an example based on that. Okay, now let's go for the first one, that is the if. Use the if statement to specify a block of JavaScript code to be executed if condition is true. Okay, so you will have an if condition over here, and inside the curly braces you will write a block of code which will be executed only if the condition is satisfied, or if the condition returns true. Okay, so for this, let's see the syntax first. Okay, so the syntax will be if the keyword, and inside the round braces we'll write the condition. Okay, okay, and inside the curly braces you will write the block of code to be executed. Okay, and then close it, right? So now here what is happening, if the condition which is present over here is true, returns true, then only this will be getting executed, else nothing will be there in the output. So now let's see an example for this. Okay, now let's see a very simple example. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to check, let's take it as some of the other data with some other constant content. Okay, so if this is greater than or smaller than, let's take like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, first I'm going to give an by default value, and I'm going to compare it with another value. I'm going to say if this is smaller than or greater than the other one, then we'll display it. Okay, so it's just an example, right? So we'll not take any other big values. We'll just declare a value first. So I'll write where. Okay, so I'll write number 1 is equals to, let's take it as 20. Okay, and where num2 is equals to 30. Okay, now I'm going to write the condition over here. If here I will write num1 is smaller than num2, then so now here the block which is to be executed will come. Okay, so I'm saying if num1 is greater than num2, then if num1 is smaller than num2, then document dot get by id. Okay, inside this I'll write demo dot inner html is equals to, let's concat. Okay, num1 is smaller. Okay, this, as we said, the number 1 is smaller than num2, then this is the number 1, that is the 20 is smaller will get displayed. Now let's save this and run this. Okay, so 20 is, okay, so we got the output, that is 20 is smaller. So if suppose I'm writing something opposite, so now as we know 20 is smaller, right? Now I'll write num1 is greater than num2. Now this is not true, right? So see what will be the output. Nothing. So I've already told you, if will only see whether the condition is true or it's satisfied. If it's satisfied, then the block of code which is present, it will execute that. If it is false or if it's not satisfying, it will not execute anything. You will be just able to see a blank output. So this is the main use of the if, where you just want to see one condition whether it is true or false. Now let's go to the second one, that is the else. Okay. So when we talk about the else statement is used to specify block of code to be executed if the condition is false. Okay. So when it was about the if, it will give execute the block of code if it is false. And when we are writing something inside else, it means if the condition is if the condition is true, then that block of code will be executed. And if it is the else, then the code inside that block will get executed. Okay, so that's basically if you get a false, then the code of a -1 will get executed. So for this, let's see the syntax also. So if, then the condition. Okay, so inside the curly braces, we will write that block of code which should be executed when, okay, when condition is true. Okay, and when it's about the else, inside the curly braces, we'll write that block of code which will be executed when condition is false. Okay. So this is the use of else and if. So this is the basic syntax. Now even let's see an example. We'll just continue with that example. So now what I have written here, see this, the first condition is false here now, right? Now what are we going to do is that, now let's say else statement over here and make it like, let's make the else statement get executed. For now I don't repeat this. Okay, what I'll do is I'll store it in a variable. Okay, now let's write it as, we'll declare it over here. Okay, and I'm giving the value over here. So what is the value which I'm going to give is message is equals to num1 is smaller. Okay. So now what will be the output if num1 is greater than, smaller than num2, then is smaller will be displayed. Okay. And in the else, what are we going to write is, if the condition is false, if it is true, then this will get executed, right? If the condition is false, then num2 is greater. Okay. So now what have we written in the condition is that num1 is greater than num2. Now what's the Boolean value which will be written here? It's false because num1 is 20 and whereas num2 is 30. So 30 is bigger, 30 is not smaller. So of course if will not be get executed, or the code inside the if block will not get executed, but the code which is inside the else block will get executed. So we'll get the message as 30 is greater. Okay, I've saved it. Oh, right, we have not even given the document.get element. Get element by ID. Okay, again the demo dot inner HTML is equals to, now here I will write message. Okay, so 30 is greater. So here is the place where we make use of if and else. So if you are feeling that this may be true or this may not be true, right? So in such case, make use of if else. So to make you understand, if you feel that if this is true, then give your user friendly message that which you will understand. And if sometimes it fails and gives an false return, then even that at that situation also you can understand this. So this will be useful for such a place. Now let's go to the next one, that is the else if. So the else if statement is used to specify a new condition if the first condition is false. So here the first condition is the if condition. The else if, when you make use of n number of else if, that is if then again an else if, then like else if else something like that, this is also known as nested else if conditions. Okay, this is a nested if statement. Okay, because there will be more than one if and more than one else. That's the reason we say nested else if or nested if else condition. Okay, so now let's go for this. Why will we use this? So let's first understand it. Okay, so if it's there, like first we are giving a condition and you feel that this may go wrong. Okay, and you feel if this goes wrong, then something else may be right. So in normal, without a big coding knowledge, if you write this, you will make use of two or three if else statements. First if will check one condition if else, then the second if else will check another condition, then the third if else will check the third condition. But with this nested else if, with the help of writing it continuously, just like else if, you can understand or you can check two to three or more than that conditions in a one go. So first let's see the syntax. Okay, so if, then the condition, okay, inside the curly braces, the block of code to be executed when condition is true. Okay, then here else, then if. Okay, so what will be here? Here also you will again write the condition. Okay, so this will be the condition 1, sorry, this condition 1, and the second condition will be condition 2. Okay, inside this, so now what will we write is the block of code to be executed if the condition 1 gets failed. Okay, and then you'll end it with an else. So here when condition is false. Okay, so even here just 2 if is not mandatory. I can even add something like this if the third condition also. Okay, so now what will be the code which will be there to get a block of code to be executed when condition 2 gets failed, then this condition 3 will be executed, then again an else. Okay, so you can have n number of else if inside this also. So this is also known as a nested if statement, where you can check multiple conditions or statements at a time. Okay, now let's even see an example for that. Okay, so now what are we going to do is, now let's go for this example. Okay, so now I'll just remove these things. We don't need this each and everything. So for time being, we'll just comment it. So multi-line comments. Okay, and then I'll close it over here. Okay, so now let's see something else. Okay, now let's see the let's have some comparison on age. Okay, so for that, first I'll add the variable as age is equals to, let's take it as 18. Okay, now we'll write an if condition over here. If age is smaller than 18, then I will write. Now even let's have another variable which will tell whether it's the person is really valid to give a vote or not. Okay, so where let's have it as also message. Okay, if the age of a person is smaller than 18, then the message which will get displayed is not allowed to vote. Okay, this is the first one. Now we'll see else if. So why I'm going to use here is that we can directly say if he is below 18, then the not allowed, above 18, then this. Now with this else if, what we are going to do, first we'll check smaller than 18, then greater than 18, then equals to 18. Okay, so for in the second else if, what I will write is if age is greater than 18, then in the message I will say allowed to vote. Okay, if you remember, even 18 minimum is 18, so even if you are in the age of 18, we can vote, right? So now the else statement, in this I will write message is equals to age 18 is allowed to vote. Okay, now let's have the document.get element. Okay, in the demo dot inner HTML is equals to, I will display the message. Okay, as our input is 18, we should get the message age 18 is allowed to vote. Okay, it's a dot over here. Okay, so we got it right. Age 18 is allowed to vote. Okay, so if we change the input like let's take it as 8. So not allowed to vote will be the output. Okay, and now let's even do it as 28. Allowed to vote. Okay, so this is the place where you want to check different conditions and give different user friendly messages, then you can make use of this. So this is about the else if statement. Okay, now let's go to the next one, that is the block of code, switch case. Okay, now let's go to the last part or the last conditional statement, that is the switch case. So I think I have even showed you an example about the switch case in the geolocation, if you remember. Okay, just give a glance to it. Okay, so now let's go with switch case. Switch case is used to select one of many blocks of code to be executed. Now what was in else, in nested if else, we need many conditions to be checked or executed, but here what is going to happen, it will just select one of that many. Okay, so the basic syntax for that is, will I add the keyword switch and then the name for it. Okay, and inside the curly braces we'll add the case. So let's take it as case 1. Okay, or the number. Okay, so it's in the text, so case n. Okay, inside this we'll write the code of the block of code, okay, which is to be executed. Okay, and then a break. Then the next one is case n. We'll just copy paste this. Okay, so this keeps on going. Okay, you can write as much as code as you want. Okay, and in the end we'll have an default. Default code to be executed. Okay, so now this is how it will work. I'll say the switch expression is evaluated code. Okay, evaluated once. Okay, and the value of the expression is compared with the value of each case. If there is a match, the associated block of code is executed. If there is a match, then the associated block of code is executed. Okay, now let's try an example for this. Now we'll make use of the let's display the weeks present in the day. Sorry, days present in the week. Okay. For that we'll see an example. First, what we'll do is we'll just delete all these things. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to have an variable as day. Okay, and inside this I'm going to start with the switch, or below this I'm going to start with the switch. So the switch keyword. Now the name for the switch, or the condition for the switch. Okay, not the name, the condition. So now what I'm going to do is, with the help of the new date method, I'm going to fetch the day. Okay, so I'll write new date. Okay, so this will return you the date, right? We have already seen this. Get day. So from that day, it will just return the day which is of today's date or day. Okay. Then I write the case as 1. Always the case starts with 0. Okay. And in this day is equals to, I will write it as Sunday. Okay. So now what's happening over here? It will get traversed to all the days that is present. Okay. So it knows, right, what will be the day which will be coming from there. So and basically see, there are 7 days in a week. So I'm starting it with 0. So the Sunday will be the 0. The Monday will be the case 1. Like that it will go. And now I'm going to give a break over here. So why a break? This means that if it got that case, if the condition is satisfied with any of the case, then it should stop in that place itself. It should not continue to see the rest of the case, whether it is applicable or for that or not. For example, if there is a condition which satisfies the first case itself, then there is no need to traverse the rest of the case which are available. That's the reason we give a break. Else it will just go on traversing for the rest also. Okay. Then the case 2 and the day is Tuesday. Case 3 and the day is Wednesday. Maybe case 4 Thursday. Then again a break. Okay. Then the case 5. Okay. Day is equals to Friday. Then a break. Case 6. Day is equals to Saturday. Okay, and a break again. Now we'll even give a default. Okay, so in this I'll just give it as Okay. Now let's run this and see how it happens. So before running this, let's even write the document.get element code. ID is demo dot inner HTML, which is equals to, now we'll just call the day over here. Today is plus the day. Okay. So now let's run this. Okay. Today is Friday. So I got it as Friday and it is really very correct. Today is Friday. Okay. So what is happening here? It will search for the each and every case which is present over here. Okay, if the condition satisfies with any of the case present, then it will just display what is over there. And if any of the case which we got is done, then it will just say that yeah, this is done. Okay, and it will stop over here. If it's not able to see any of them, then the by default value which is here, this will be getting displayed. Now it got the value as Friday, so that's the reason this isn't the day of the week. This content did not get displayed. But if in case it was not able to see anything or find a perfect match like that, then the output over here will be the day of the week. Okay, in place of this, it will be the day of the week. So this is the main use of the switch. So as I told you, in many condition it will pick any one. Okay. So these are the four different conditional statements. Okay. The first one was the if. If condition is true, then it will execute the block, this block. Okay. And the next one was if. If the condition of the first statement is false, then this else will get executed. Sorry, this else. Okay. And the next one was the nested if or the else if one. So where n number of conditions can be checked at a time. Okay. And the next one was switch, where it will pick only one of the conditions or one of the statements from all of the above, all of the or the many statements. Okay. So these are the four conditional statements in JavaScript.